A Garfield Heights man wants to know why the city won't reimburse him after his car was totaled by an ambulance.
Police say the ambulance driver failed to yield at an intersection.
19 investigator Mike Mason is getting to the bottom of this one.
Video of this crash clearly shows the ambulance driver didn't stop or even slow down much before slamming into the car. So we wanted to know why the city hasn't reimbursed the driver for both his car and his medical bills.
It happened in Garfield Heights at the intersection of Turney and McCracken Roads. Watch as city surveillance cameras capture the full impact of the crash. Now let's watch it again. You can see how the ambulance approaches the intersection, then plows right into the passenger side of a Dodge Charger.
Slammed, yep.
Nick DeSimone was the driver. It happened on the morning of January 15th.
I'm just cruising to work, not thinking anything of it. I had, my music playing a little bit.
It wasn't blasting?
It wasn't blasting.
DeSimone says it was if the ambulance came from out of nowhere and then bam, he was taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
Below my knee, which is healed since, and then I did have a bloody nose. Luckily, it was from the passenger side that took most of the impact.
The traffic report states DeSimone had a solid green light when the ambulance failed to slow to clear the intersection. It states the ambulance driver failed to yield the right-of-way. DeSimone says the city's insurance company soon began working with him.
Ended up getting me a rental car for about 2 weeks.
But shortly afterwards, DeSimone says they cut him off. When he asked why, he says they told him it was because a witness came forward claiming he saw the ambulance using its lights and sirens before the crash. Because of this, the city wasn't liable for any damages.
There's nothing that they could do.
There's nothing they can do?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Kind of disappointed. Now I'm out of car.
So DeSimone turned to 19 Investigates for help. We submitted a public records request and found the city's witness is actually a Garfield Heights firefighter. In his statement, he reported he was right across the street, salting the sidewalk of Station 1 when the accident occurred. But his statement wasn't dated until April 3rd, 2.5 months after the crash. We asked the city why he waited so long to come forward, but we haven't heard back. And even though DeSimone says he didn't hear a siren, all 4 firefighters who were inside the ambulance stated they were on. Records also show the ambulance driver, Brandon Carr, had only been on the job for 2 days when this happened. His supervisor noted the crash could have been avoided if Carr had been more cognizant of emergency vehicle driving operation. According to their own policy, emergency vehicle operators shall reduce speed at all intersections and come to a complete stop at all blind street intersections where there's either a red light, flashing red light, or a stop sign. But the video clearly shows Carr failed to stop or slow down much before driving through the intersection.
Now, shoot, I slow down, I look both ways, even if it is a green light or yellow, because you never know.
But DeSimone won't be doing much driving until he can afford to buy a new car.
After everything, even still today, like a little bit of stress about everything. I'd like to be at least, my medical bills taken care of, and if they can do something about my car.
Records show the city's insurance company gave the fire department $200,000 towards buying another ambulance. However, we're still waiting to find out why DeSimone hasn't been reimbursed yet. Mike Mason, 19 News.